let's do this. 2 showcases enter. 1 leaves. Why did I become Batman? That's not what wrestling announcers sound like.
If Batman was announcing a wrestling match, I would probably be a pretty big wrestling fan.
I would probably secretly hope that Batman would be jumping into the fray.
Absolutely. He would do the Vince McMahon trying to make references I don't get and start attacking people. Is that right? Did I do that correctly?
Yes, he was the owner of WWE.
Is he the owner, or is he just like a jacked guy who pretends to be an owner?
No, he was the owner, and then also, he was the WWE is a fictional organization within the fiction of the wrestling. It doesn't matter. Let's talk about these 2 showcases. Justin, where do you want to start?
Let's start with the chronological order because that's the best way to go in my brain. So Nintendo, right? That was first.
Nintendo gave us 45 minutes of announcements, and Justin, I thought this was a great showcase. What do you think? I mean, just general thoughts, and then we'll talk about the big headlines here. What do you think?
I'm not going to say I didn't like it. A lot of it didn't speak to me on a way that I would like to have been spoken to or forspoken to.
I like that.
But they had some good things there. I thought some interesting announcements. Some deep dives into games that I didn't think I wanted to play, but I might want to play now, specifically Harvestella. I probably will try that demo, just see what that looks like, because it looks way more RPG than I thought. But there was a lot of things announced.
Yes, that is for sure. There, I guess let that be what it is, right? That doesn't necessarily speak to the quality of the showcase, but there definitely was a lot of stuff that was passed in front of my eyeballs. The biggest one here, obviously, is the Breath of the Wild sequel, right? Which we got a title on, along with 45 seconds of gameplay and 45 seconds of static images of wall paintings. So Breath of the Wild 2 is called Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, or maybe it's called Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. We literally don't know, which is the ultimate irony, right? It's just so funny that they have been so reluctant to give us the name of this, and even now that we have it, we still don't actually know what it is.
I mean, it was I was expecting it to be something like Legend of Zelda, You Are Ganondorf, or something silly like that.
Something the way that people were theorizing, yeah.
I mean, something, not, again, I don't care about this name. I'm not offended by the name, Tears, whatever, it's fine. It'd be ironic if it was Tear on the same day that we get
the Ragnarok thing.
That's funny. Trailer. But anyway, I just felt like they were hiding it for a reason.
Sure.
And maybe I'm dumb and I don't realize that there's a reason why they hid it, but it just seems so late in the game to announce the title for it. Maybe it's a marketing choice to be well, it's Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, to your point, it does feel so late in the game to make the title reveal be as a big enough thing to kind of stand alone.
Yeah.
The fact that the trailer showed us, it was new clips, but it wasn't a new, we didn't learn anything that we haven't seen before, right? Lots of falling. I guess he lands on a big eagle, a big stone eagle, which I guess we hadn't seen. But we've seen it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for it to be able to stand alone on its own, I just don't think it was that big of a reveal. I also, to be honest, don't love the title. I've been thinking about it all day, and Breath of the Wild is such a good title because even if you've not played it, you kind of get the vibe based on the title. You know what I mean? Because what is the Breath of the Wild referring to? What does that mean? Right? In the actual game. I don't know. Maybe the wind or something like that. But at the end of the day, it just really, it does a good job at giving you the essence of what the game is about. You're out in the wilderness and you're following your whims, and it's exploration and stuff like that. At least that's how I feel about it. But Tears of the Kingdom,
I'm going to guess it's Tears because you're going through different dimensions. That'll be my guess. But I think it is a branding mistake because they got rid of the Breath of the Wild title to it.
Agreed.
And this is clearly a sequel to it. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm wrong. But I think it's a sequel to it.
I mean, it is because they've been calling it the sequel to the Breath of the Wild, right? Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. I think it could be. It could have been maybe worth it to be like Breath of the Kingdom or like Tears of the Wild, or you know what I mean? Like at least tie it in somewhere. Obviously, it's noun of the noun, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, but.
Yeah, it just doesn't have that ring to it. But whatever, I'll play it. I'll love it. It'll be fine.
Of course, it's gonna be good. It's got the Jedi Fallen Order 2, Jedi Fallen Survivor.
They should have just Jedi Fallen Order.
Fallen Order 2. Oh gosh,
Put
like the layers of
it,
fears.
but the Z looks like a 2. But it's like a lightsaber shaped like a 2.
So it's like that's very like 2010, you know, like we're
hey,
like,
man, I love it. That was a good time in my life.
But like what I'm saying is like, I think this suffers from the same thing as something like Jedi Fallen Order, where like people are just going to call that Jedi Fallen Order 2.
Yeah,
they are just going to call this Breath of the Wild 2.
Yep.
So in a way that like no one calls Majora's Mask Ocarina of Time 2. You know,
I guess that actually is a pretty good comparison between the two. I mean, is this going to be like a straight up sequel to Breath of the Wild, or is it just going to be like more in the world and then Ganon's a thing? So I don't know. They've clearly done it before. It seems like a pretty common. Well, Legend of Zelda 2. Zelda 2.
It was called Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link.
Yeah, and at least it was Zelda 2, so you knew it was a sequel. That would like covered everything. They could have put Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild 2, Tears of the Kingdom of the Fallen Order 2.
Survivors.
Yes.